As you travel throughout China, India, Japan, Southeast Asia, and Korea, do you see water as an issue impacting the growth of the game?
Well, to quote a former president of the USGA, who was a man of well chosen words, Sandy Tatum, I would say that the answer is water scarcity is a fundamental issue here in Asia. Uh, we have two aspects of our water scarcity. One is a physical water scarcity, the actual lack of water in various regions throughout Asia. And the second one is caused by economics. The economics would water scarcity would apply to areas like Southeast Asia. Throughout Southeast Asia, much of the region receives an excess of 2 meters of annual rainfall per year. But at the same time, about 15% of the population has no access to potable water. Uh, North Asia, Korea, Japan, and particularly China, quite similar to the United States, you have regional issues of physical water scarcity. And throughout China, there are areas that receive rainfall that equates to that of a desert. Rain shadow effect from mountains, from the Himalayas, the Gobi Desert, the interior of China. Central Asia is really under the gun as it tries to develop. Uh, that includes all of the stands, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, India. Uh, Again, it's an issue there of two things. One is a physical shortage of water and also an economic scarcity. So yeah, definitely the throughout Asia, water is a serious issue. Water scarcity is a serious issue.
What practices do you see as being the most effective in meeting the challenges of water for golf?
The growing the game of golf and developing golf courses and managing and maintaining golf courses in throughout Asia, I don't see it as being any different. The challenges, that is, any different than we faced in the United States. It ebbs and it flows. There are droughts in the southwestern United States. There have been droughts in the southeastern and the northeastern part of the United States. The bottom line is simply that uh, we get too comfortable. You never miss the water until the well goes dry, and then after it starts raining, and everybody forgets about it. So uh, uh, what we need the most of in Asia is management education, golf course industry level education. And this is a primary thrust of the United States Golf Association Green Section. I have, I basically would beg the USGA to make greater efforts to provide management education with technology available today throughout the world. So yes, it's an issue of teaching people how to uh, manage the golf courses better. Frankly, we all know that most golf courses are probably over irrigated. I joke that I became a scuba diver out of the need to survive in the golf business.
Some of the facilities I've seen on television seem to be modeled after the concept of highly maintained and irrigated turf grass from wall to wall. Is that something that needs to change?
There's definitely a need for reducing cultivated turf on golf courses. The square footage of cultivated turf on golf courses. In Japan, Pacific Golf Management, we embarked upon a program to naturalize uh, hundreds of hectares of deep rough that were being maintained. There's no need for it. We need to focus on maintaining the playing surfaces and naturalize the surrounds and deeper rough to reduce maintenance costs and to reduce the demand for water. Uh, Secondly, yes, irrigation system technology is badly needed throughout Asia. Irrigation systems are probably the first point of reduction during planning stage and construction That's where owners and construction companies also are motivated to cut back on the expense of an irrigation system. Uh, so we need to employ modern technology. We need to fully utilize the efficiencies of modern irrigation systems. But the most important thing, after we put the hardware in the ground, we have to train people on how to actually utilize the technology. Too often in the golf business, like in any business, the technology exceeds the ability of the operators. So here at Sky 72, for example, in the last 5 years, one of our highest priorities for training has been with within the area of operating irrigation systems. That was a number one priority. And we spent 3 years of having Mr. John Pryor coming from Singapore, who's a highly respected irrigation designer, and he did a full semester college course on irrigation management. Our guys got the drill, and it really has paid off here at Sky 72. So yeah, we need the technology of irrigation systems, which is too often reduced during planning and construction of golf courses, just ignored. And then we need to train management how to use the technology.
Well, Jim, it seems obvious that there is tremendous potential for the game to grow worldwide. What specific steps do you see as being necessary for golf to grow in Asia?
To summarize, our needs here in Asia, which frankly are pretty much the same as most other places in the world. And by the way, I've been in the golf business since my father had me mowing greens in 1963. So I've seen things come and seen things go, issues. Number one, it's a management education need. We must commit to continuing education of golf course management personnel and conduct training at the staff level. Uh, uh, I believe that the more we train, the less we'll have to manage. Uh, we need to employ the better grasses that have been developed over many years, frankly, with the investment and support of the United States Golf Association. We need to get those grasses moved from the United States, from North America, to other points of the globe, and in particular, we need to get the grasses like Zoysia and the ultra dwarf Bermudas to the applicable parts of Asia where they will do well. We need to reduce the footprint of golf courses on the environment. We need to eliminate unnecessary areas of golf courses that are cultivated and irrigated. I call it naturalization. We can call it whatever word we choose, but the objective is to significantly reduce the cultivated areas of turf on golf courses down to the actual playing fields. And then finally, we need to employ the technology that is available today, uh, primarily that of irrigation hardware and software. And in doing so, we must train the operators how to use that equipment efficiently. And I have to tell you that even in the United States, I feel strongly that a good 60 to 75% of golf course operators are not efficiently using their modern irrigation systems. So if we do those four things, it'll help to alleviate the water scarcity stress on the golf industry development here in Asia and throughout the world. In closing, we pre-recorded this message just in case we have a technology failure. Just like we often do in golf courses, we need redundant systems, whether it's managing a golf course or flying an airplane. So I just want to thank everyone at the United States Golf Association for the opportunity to call water scarcity in Asia to your attention and to make an appeal for your support and help for the good of the game.